Right now, we are shining the spotlight on a very, very awesome initiative. It's called the Sober and the Sexy Calendar, and it celebrates recovering addicts that's on a very positive and healing road towards changing their lives for the better. And this morning, we are here discussing the calendar. Founder Fiona McCosh, along with Ashley Potts, who's the director of the Cape Town Drug Counselling Centre, to talk about this calendar and how it impacts the lives of those recovering addicts. Thank you very much for joining us, Fiona and Ashley. This is awesome, man. I had a squiz through the calendar, and yes, it's sexy, but it's great. It tells a story, Fiona. So I'm going to start with you. Firstly, your personal journey with addiction and what led to you finding this sober and sexy calendar.
Well, I'm in recovery myself. I came here 7 years ago for rehab and fell in love with Cape Town and never went back. And I've been a passionate amateur photographer for many, many years. And in early recovery, I did quite an amateurish exhibition of recovering addicts because I wanted to portray it in a more positive light, you know, living healthy lives. And then a couple of years later, it was well received. And then a couple of years later, I got a really swanky camera and I wanted to do another exhibition. And I was chatting to some friends and I wanted to do something, you know, take it to the next level, raise awareness, raise money for a good cause. This is where Ashley comes in. And the idea of a calendar came about just thinking about the Calendar Girls film,
yes,
where the women, they stripped for a charity. And then it just snowballed from there because the idea of the recovering addicts being naked, that we have nothing to hide, there's no shame in being in recovery, and, you know, bearing all. And then, you know, it just, yeah, I mean, everyone loved the idea. And, yeah.
And I think that's brilliant because now you are directly removing the stigma around being in recovery. And I think that's great. So we're glad you stayed in Cape Town. Thank you very much. Ashley, why is it so important, we're talking about stigma, to remove that when it comes to being an addict on a road to recovery? Why should we be talking about it? Because it is something that I think a lot of people still kind of, you know, afraid to talk about.
No, you're absolutely right. I think the bearing it all says it, you know, in totality, people wanting to be able to feel that they are part of society, and removing the stigma will certainly help them. It's important for the user that is in long-term recovery. It's important for the family of that user, and it's also important for society on a whole. It's a health issue, and it's something that we all need to be dealing with, and I think it's a basic human right that we would need to be offering to everyone that is in long-term recovery. Why it's important to remove the stigma, for me, I believe that it helps them to live a better and fulfilled life and not be victimized or judged or condemned, you know, like many people would want to do these days. I think they need to be given the gratitude and the fact that they are now in a new stance or a new dispensation or a new era because they have celebrated their recovery, and we need to do it with them.
Absolutely, and on the other side, like Fiona is proving, a great inspiration to talk about it and to inspire other recovering addicts or addicts as a whole to change their lives as well. Actually, how do you go about getting your models and putting the calendars together?
Well, there's a thriving recovery community in Cape Town, so you know, I actually know all of the models personally, and I was surprised how many people were jumping at the chance to bear all. Some needed a little bit of persuading. But, you know, when they saw the results, then, you know, I mean, they were over the moon, how lovely they looked.
And look at that. I mean, I quickly opened the calendar. That's probably one of my favorite pictures as well. Actually, just quickly to wrap up, what does it mean to have the support of the Sober and Sexy calendar for your organization, and how are the funds raised through the calendar helping you?
Right. I mean, quite logically, it helps us to be able to continue to provide services for those that are wanting to come into recovery. And the support and donations from Fiona and the calendar that she has so brilliantly constructed helps us to be able to continue that process, but also helps us to communicate a message that you don't have to feel bad, you don't have to be ashamed, you don't have to hide. You need to be able to stand out and believe in yourself, have the confidence or regain the confidence and self-esteem to say, I am sexy, I am sober, I am living my life to the fullest. Past was, but this is, and so I'm moving ahead.
I love that, moving forward. Thank you very much for joining us. The calendar, where can people get hold of it?
Well, they can contact me on the website, www.soberandsexy.co.za. These were from the last couple of years, but I'm busy preparing the 2019 calendar, so watch this space.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very, very much, man, and looking forward to see these calendars all around because it really is sexy. So like Fiona mentioned, if you want to get your hands on the calendar, it's soberandsexy.co.za. You can get all the details there, and also for more on the South African National Drug Centre, that's drugcentre.org.za to make sure you get all the details and support, and talk about it. Don't be shy.